Tune into Raising Wisdom, where we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unlock the true potential of your being. Welcome to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free, with Nico and Shani Poops, Wednesdays at 8. High vibrations. High vibrations. What's going on, Calibo? Okay, I'm going to vouch for you this time. But you ain't going to get me in trouble. High vibrations. I think that was the cleanest come on we ever had.
Yeah.
What's up, boo?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. All my kids sick.
Oh no.
I'm the last Mohican, the last one standing.
You're strong.
Yeah, for now. I'll probably be the last one, but I did make I made this cute reel because I made some elderberry syrup.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave the ingredients and all that stuff. So you guys can check that out on my page, Mad Alchemist 444.
Yeah.
If you
I was looking at it. I was reading the
recipe.
Sound good. Yeah. It sounds like it tastes good.
It do taste good, actually. I thought it was going to be more sour or bitter, but it actually tastes good. Yeah, because I used the lemon peels, but I also got the lemon juice and I like squeezed it in there.
Yes.
It's good. But welcome back to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. It is here we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Together we will navigate the complexities of life, seeking the elusive wisdom that enriches our minds and souls. So get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unlock the true potential of your being. I'm your girl, Nico.
And I am your favorite podcast host, Shani, from the Shani View. Hey, babe.
Wow. So, we are having a topic that's pretty interesting. Divorce culture.
Yeah, it's a complex, your word earlier, complex situation.
The complexities of life. So we're going to seek some elusive wisdom within this topic, divorce culture. That's what I'm calling it, because that's what it feels like, right?
Yeah, it is a culture. I think so. In today's times.
So I've been divorced.
Yeah.
And my reasons were valid. This is how I see it, right? So with divorce culture, I just feel like it's so easy to get divorced. Nobody really stays into it or challenges.
That's why it's a culture. It's because it's so easy to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy because it's an option.
It is an option.
Yeah. So
like, let's address this thing, because like before, like back in the day and everything was like stigmatized divorce.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I mean, more so because of spiritual, biblical reasons. You know, you ain't gonna leave your husband. You know, there's no such thing as divorce. Right. You stick it out, you figure it out, you do the work, you know, because marriage is hard.
Yeah.
You know.
It's hard, but it's not as hard as people
make it to be.
Yeah, like anything worth having is going to be challenging, but you don't have to have all the toxic factors.
Right.
Like, no.
So, oh golly. I mean, I guess like that's what makes it easy, and there's so many options. So like changing norms. So divorce culture has evolved over the years from being stigmatized to becoming more accepted in modern society because it's the option.
Yeah.
I mean, for women, okay, like for instance, for women, they depended on their husbands. They would be at home with the kids, taking care of home. They depended on their husbands mostly to take care of the bills and all that stuff.
Right.
So leaving, even if it was, say it was an abusive situation or, they just tired of him. Tired of him, tired of his kids, just tired of that whole lifestyle, want something different, they grow apart. Because these are all the different reasons why people sign off on divorce these days. It's not working. We grew apart. All of these different things, right? Yeah. Outside of infidelity, and all of that stuff, because we're going to get into that later.
Right.
But they didn't have the option to leave because where are they going to go? What are they going to do? How are they going to have money? Like now it's a whole lot different because we don't be needing all that. We don't need a dude for like to be stable.
No.
Like they're not the end all be all on like what happens with our future, what happens with the kids, because we're in a space where we can be independent, we can make our own money, we can pay our own bills, and then we can come with all the other wonderful things that our divine femininity brings to the table outside of, us being independent women doing things for ourselves.
Right.
So I guess like if any little thing is like, I don't have to deal with this, I'm just going to get a divorce.
Right. Because it's an option.
Because it's an option.
I think back in the day, too, though, the dynamics were different with marriage because, well, first of all, this is the Western world, the Western culture, the land of the free.
Okay.
You got freedom of speech.
The wild, wild way.
Like we're supposed to be free and as far as our opinions and how we want to live or how we choose to live, right? Because supposedly the founding fathers of this country came here supposedly because they were trying to get away from religious beliefs from where they were at because they were being oppressed, right? But anyway, I think with the Western culture, just having that option of divorce, whereas men used to work to get the woman, like physical labor, for years. Some of them for years, just working.
We used to put in some work.
Right. Hey, to pay the family for the bride
dowry, but you know what? That still exists.
Yeah,
still
not necessarily in the Western culture, though.
Well, no. Like when I talked to Vidic about this, he actually asked about a dowry, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
From the military? Like, where do you want to get this from? What's going on? How do I set this up?
You have dowry, and then you have the arranged marriages. So
yep, you have arranged marriages.
Those marriages tend to last longer because of the underlying beliefs versus with Western culture is built off of infatuation and looks or what the person can offer versus them actually putting in that groundwork.
We're supposed to be marrying because marriage is an institution and it is a business contract as well. Because like, for instance, I look at it like, okay, like for instance, like me and V, it's like we are bringing two different cultures together, two different countries together, two different families together, and that's what they would do back in the day, or even still to this day, when you decide who you're marrying, like whether you're the Duchess of such and such or whatever, like you're bringing, it can be politicized and more of like a business transaction for the families or for the countries or for the culture. But for the two people, the two individuals involved, you know, it's a wealth builder. It's supposed to be, but we've been marrying for love opposed to focusing on like what the institution of marriage can bring as far as like the building blocks of how it can create wealth. I think it's just been more so focused on like now these days, you want to be seen, you want people to know that you're married, you just want to be married because you want to say that you're married, you want to be married because you're 30 already or you're about to be 30. It's not necessarily for the reasons that it should be. Hence why maybe it's so easy to get out of.
Right. That's exactly why. It's watered down.
It's watered down.
Yeah. Everybody want to be able to do the relationship goals and
relationship goals. Speaking of Will and She Who Must Not Be Named. God dang.
That's what you want to talk about.
I'm just saying.
It
is on topic. Goodness gracious. And here at Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free, okay, free will.
Free will.
Like, okay, so like technology and divorce. Like I my moral compass says to me, you don't put all your business out in the street.
Yeah.
So like in today's marriages, or even just relationships, you know what I'm saying, that they haven't signed the dotted line, right? But like common law marriages, if you will, you know, with technology and divorce, the role of technology and social media in modern divorce culture, like creates these issues that aren't relevant to anyone else. So you're publicizing things that should be private and intimate, and then you're relying on other people to influence your marriage and influence your relationship, and you're trying to be like the Joneses, and you lose out on what you actually have, trying to be something that you're not. I think that's where a lot of that divorce culture comes into.
Those influences, like if you are married mainly for the right reasons, not just love, you do want to have that circle of influence, people who want to see you together, people who want to see you thrive together.
Yes. And marriage is not always going to be happy. I think I remember seeing something. I always do that too. I think I remember seeing something. The lady, she said, a guy asked her if she was married, right? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, are you happy? And she was like, no.
They always ask that question next.
Yeah, they do. They do. Because what does it matter? But she was like, no, she's not happy. She is unhappily married, but she's still married. So just because I'm unhappy in my marriage does not give me reason to step out or quit, or, you know, depending on the reason why you're unhappy. I don't advocate for anybody to stay in a situation that does not serve them, right? Hence why it's so important to do the work beforehand, before even getting married or even talking about marriage, because initially, you know, this is a lifelong situation. We bonded, we bound for life. We got kids involved, money involved, businesses involved. We connected. Yeah, we definitely now,
in this.
So like in divorce culture, I think, man, it's too easy. It's too easy to give up. I think Callie will say people are just lazy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's true, because people don't want to put in that work. that is required to make it work. Like, not trying to force the other person to conform to what you think they should be doing, but like actively working together and finding solutions together. Like, what's the bigger picture?
Yeah. I think, also with divorce as well, we have this whole aspect, the legal framework of it all. Girl, because for instance, here in Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. Girl, you take a man for everything you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that serious. How Georgia is set up with
divorce?
Yes. How Georgia is set up with divorce. Mm-hmm. If you have any indication that there is any infidelity, he has broken his vows in any frame, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. These divorce lawyers here don't play. You're getting half of everything. Half of the 401k, mm-hmm. half of the car, half of the house, half of everything. And for some people, that's kind of like a little cushion, like, okay, like a threat. Okay, act crazy all you want. I'm going to just take half of what you got. Right. Which ain't right.
Well, I don't know all of the technicalities to it, but I know that in some cases you have to be married for at least 10 years in order to be able to get half of anything. And that 10-year mark, that's when you're able to get half. Or between 7 and 10. That might just be on the military side. But 7 to 10 years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they don't do the whole, we were married for a year, or we were married for 2, and then you getting half of everything. That's not gonna fly. So I think they have like kind of tightened down a little bit on the making it harder to get divorced.
Okay, so like in Georgia, it's like it's not necessarily half, mm-hmm. but it's equitable distribution, distributed fairly.
Okay.
To each party.
Right. That's why you got to be careful on who you marry to, because some people can just be trying to get married and they can wait out that time frame.
Yeah.
So that they get whatever it is.
Like they weren't vibrations.
They weren't.
She loves Teddy.
Oh, that's my friend.
Hey, friend.
They weren't in it for love or to really be with the person. They were in it for the benefits in the long run for them.
Yeah.
And then leave. So you got to be careful with that, because a lot of Americans or the Western world, we marry for love. So they know how to play off of that.
Yeah, for sure. So is marriage too much pressure?
I think it's too much pressure for a person that's not really trying to be married.
Seeking it.
Yeah, they just want the hashtag relationship goals. That's it.
So it shouldn't be like, okay, because I think people, they get into the long-term relationships and everything, and it's like, okay, well, when is marriage coming?
Yeah.
And it may not be for the love, the longevity. It could just be for a really dope wedding, because, it could be for show, or to prove to people, something. Otherwise, I think everybody should just be themselves.
There are people that get married for that, just for the wedding.
There is, like, legit. I think I saw something, I stay be seeing something. Old girl was really tripped out though. No, for real. Like, old dude was like, I would just like to get. Now, I think they were both wrong. Old dude was just like, okay, I just want to get married. Let's go to the courthouse, and I'll buy you a house, whatever have you. Put you through school. It's nothing. Right. And she's like, no, I want a wedding. Like, I want a big, stupid wedding, like 100K, 50K. Mm-hmm. And he was like, for what?
That money can be invested into something else.
Exactly. Mindset. Right. We have that kind of mindset, but she was not going. So he's like, what are you saying? Like, what about me? What about us? What about, what we're trying to build. And she's like, I mean, yeah, but I don't care. Like, if I don't have this type of wedding, if you don't give me that because that's what I want, then there's no wedding. The engagement's off. Whoa. Like, where's the compromise? But I feel like he dodged the bullet because, girl, first of all, like, you'll be happy if somebody else wants to marry you with that raggedy behind attitude. And then it's like, where's the compromise? Right. So, like, mostly you wanted to put on for, I probably sound like one of them pick-me's they be talking about, huh? But these is facts, okay? This is raising wisdom. Well, wisdom is free, so come get you some. So that's ignorant. That's not a good mindset. That's not queendom talk.
It's not at all. But I mean, it's a reality, so people do have to be on the lookout for that. Just remember that deeper connection. I'm all about a deeper connection. Like, I just don't
girl.
have time for the games.
Yes.
So I am a divorcee myself. I want to say I probably learned more about marriage after the divorce.
Yeah.
Versus while I was in it.
I did too. So for this marriage, I'm a lot more like aware.
Yeah.
Understanding my circle, who I speak to about, my marital issues.
Yeah.
Is I can trust them not to be the, forget that name. Like, I can trust them to be, telling me what's best. And when I'm wrong, and I think we had I forgot what episode that was. But we talked about that, having people in your circle that will tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we talked about it a few times.
Yeah. So, like, expectations, the pressure in marriage often arises from societal and personal expectations about roles, responsibilities, and what a successful marriage should look like. Right. Managing these expectations can be challenging, especially if you got everybody in your business. Right. 50-50 is not for everybody, but it might be for some.
Right.
Just on a realistic concept.
Societal rules and expectations. Like, you may be fine. I don't want to work. I'm not going to lie to you like that. But you can.
I like to keep my money.
You can be, the stay-at-home mom. Or you can be a working mom and your marriage still works out just fine either way. It just depends on what's best for you two.
Right. Your personal connection with each other.
Yeah.
Like, that should be your best friend. You feel me? Like, what are we doing? But I mean, that's where, like, okay, where we marrying for love, because in some instances people don't even have that choice. They grow to learn to love each other.
Right. Which I think is actually, and that's just me, I think it's better to grow and learn to love somebody, because let's say you have these certain issues with this person, you leave them alone, the next person might, they're going to have a different set of issues, but either way, you're going to have to learn how to adjust to that other person's tempo. Like, y'all could be on the same wave. Remember, I'm not talking about with the toxic relationships.
Yeah. Right. Well, we're speaking about these things because, again, if a situation does not serve you well, get out of it.
Right.
We will never advocate for being in a toxic relationship for the thought of just keeping things together and sticking it out. Like, absolutely not. If you can get some counseling, go for that. If it just completely does not serve you well, it's toxic, it's ruining your whole existence, leave, run, fast, pack a bag, get a flight.
Right.
Like,
so we're talking about, like, what we were talking about earlier, like, are both parties willing? Like, are you willing to do what it takes to, you know, stay and make it work?
Very much so. Prayer, of course, yes.
Right.
God should be involved for sure.
Prayer.
Yes. So speaking of that, here on Raising Wisdom, we encourage you all to read a book. So I have one specifically for this topic, and I actually got this for my own relationship because,
What book is it?
It's called Keep Your Love On, 365 Daily Devotions for Couples. It looks like this.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, so like every day, you know, it has, like, it's really cute. I don't know if you can see that. But every day, it has a scripture. It has like a task. And it allows you guys to kind of rebuild your communication, relearn each other, take in consideration like what the scripture says, how it may speak to your life. You got to be in a certain mindset for this to be able to work. Because again, if these other issues are plaguing you, financial, external influences, family, friends, and cultural norms can exert pressure on marital individuals, affecting their decisions and choices within their marriage. And that is a contribution to divorce culture as well. Because keep folk out their business. That don't mean you're no good. They know until you make it in the first place. If the first thing they're saying is, you know, we know how we can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how we can be with each other. Quick to
Lisa,
shut the other thing down. Big sis, what's happening?
She knows a lot. She knows a lot about marriage.
Okay. Hey, welcome to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. Kush Gigs in the building. Shout out to Big Sis. Okay. She got all the juice. Y'all think we got the juice. She got the juice.
But like Callie did say earlier, you want to have God as your center. So with our relationship, we're not married yet. But God is the center of our relationship, and I've seen, like, just the way that our faith is individually, it draws us closer and it makes us more productive. So in those times where you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing all of this, like this should not be this much work, like just having that ease of going to God about whatever the issue is. I love it.
I do love that. I do have a praying man for sure. So that helps.
The oil. It does. It does, because it helps to build that.
That's what the oil is.
It's this prayer oil that we use, but from church.
Oh, okay. That's so sweet. High vibrations. That's what's up. We're like, what is the oil? Is this oil again? No, you're absolutely right, love. You're absolutely right. There should be some type of spiritual bonds, going to the Creator, laying it down. You know what I'm saying? Seeking counsel. You know, individually, men should seek counsel from men that are married or have been married. And women should seek counsel from married women or women that have been married. I think that makes a difference as well. You cannot holler at your single friends about marital stuff, you know, or if your relationship and you're moving if you're moving towards marriage. I just don't think it's beneficial. They're not in it how you're in it. They're not seeing what you're seeing. They don't have the same experiences that you may be going through, you know, to seek counsel. How are you going to seek counsel from somebody who they still trying to find their person?
I think marriage is a mindset too, though.
Really?
Yeah. It's a mindset. Like, like you can want to be married but not have what it takes to be married because, like you said, your counsel may be single friends who they feel
to stay married.
Yeah, you might have people who have gone through bad divorces, and so they're going to be those people telling you, like, yeah, girl, go on and get out of that. Or the single friends who feel that all men are dogs or all men cheat. Like, you cannot be married having that type of counsel. You have to have
that will run you right over to a lawyer real quick, ain't it?
Right. They'll drive you to the lawyer. So you don't want those, man. They will. Like, these people probably never did anything for you in your life. But as soon as you say that you having some issues within your marriage or your relationship that's headed to marriage, they will pay for the breakup or the split up. That's not what you that's not what you want.
Toxicity. So, like, you're speaking of supportive communities. There are support groups, online forums, and counseling services that provide assistance to individuals going through divorce, which can contribute to a sense of validation and support, adding to the divorce culture. However, on the other side of things, there's also the same resources if you say, like as Shani was just talking about, those kinds of friends that'll lead you right on to the lawyer. There is that that support system that is meant for married couples to actually succeed. You know what, Pooh? I think it's also, like, important when you talk about being equally yoked, right? That's not necessarily, well, I mean, spiritual wise, I think it's important. I think it's mindset, though. You need to be in the same headspace with the same kind of goals.
Right.
You can't pick up somebody and expect them to be in go mode as a husband or as a wife, and you're kind of having to re-raise them.
Yeah, like pulling teeth.
Know? Yeah, like pulling teeth or something. You're kind of like this, like a dead weight.
Then they don't have a marital mindset. If you
exactly
gotta pull them, and it's a lot of resistance, and no, you want somebody that's already trying to do that.
High vibrations, Mia Monet. What's up, girl? How you been?
And you see them working on themselves already. Like, you can't force anybody to do anything. And that includes love you the way that you want to be loved.
That's true. So there's an empowerment narrative as well, right? Some people view divorce as an empowering act, allowing individuals to take control of their lives and pursue their own happiness, which can seem like it's in a positive light.
Yeah.
So it's a celebratory situation. Sometimes it is, right?
If that person was oppressed in that situation, then divorce is empowering because now you have your own voice again.
True.
You have to rebuild all that strength all over again as an individual. So it can be for the good in certain times, but like I said, why did you get married?
In the first place, why did you write those vows? Was it real? So there's the emphasis on personal freedom and self-expression in contemporary culture can lead to the perception that divorce is a way to liberate oneself from an unfulfilling or restrictive relationship, and that may well be. However, like, we have these scenarios where it's like, okay, well, I was in love with him and he loved me very much, but I wanted more money. I wanted a man with more money.
So love is not enough for marriage. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. Love is not enough for marriage.
What do you think is the ingredients for this cupcake of love in marriage?
The cupcake of love. I don't know what that is, but oh, you gotta have respect for each other. You have to have that respect for each other. And some people, I do think that relationships can be or are a form of worship. Like are worshiping that other person. So that's why I say God has to be the center. So if that person goes to God, they're worshiping God, like it's easier to fall in line with them because both of you are. So I for some reason I always think of it as a triangle. Both people are up going to God and then they're connecting at the bottom. So you are worshiping each other. Like you have to have that respect for each other. If you don't, or if it lacks on one side, it's gonna be off balance.
When it comes to infidelity, because commitment, right? So marriage is a significant commitment that can be perceived as pressuring for those who may be ready for such a commitment, or for those who have differing levels of commitment in the relationship. When it comes to, is marriage too much pressure, right? Because there's this narrative that, you know, some species feel as though it's not possible for them to be in a monogamous, committed relationship.
Right.
Which I think is bull. I really do. I do. And I say that because everyone has a choice.
Yeah.
And I think that there are some perversions and there are some lustful situations, some lustful demons attached to this flesh that we entertain. That's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
However, is that like a reason to show up in a marriage knowing that there will be infidelity?
Knowing that it'll be they first of all
okay.
I'm not going to be in a situation knowing that there's going to be infidelity unless we have agreed that we're going to see other people. If we go into it like that, have that agreement, that's different. But if
some of these women know they got a cheating man before he doggone decided that he wanted to get on the knee and put on this whole show for everybody.
Marriage doesn't
she
change
was
that.
Cheating before.
Marriage
doesn't
change that, and having children with a person doesn't change that. If that's their character and they're choosing to be like that, that's just what it is.
So the pressure of commitment enhances this divorce culture because there's too many options. It's a lot.
It's no pressure. It's no pressure for commitment if you want to be committed, though.
Yes, I completely agree.
So I don't think it's pressure.
In regards to this, the divorce culture, I mean, the pressures of being married, because that's what it amounts to when people are like, oh, well, it's just time. We need a divorce. You know, it's too much. Like, it's just too much. It's too much work. Like, it's not working.
Right.
What do they call them? The differences. What do they call them? Inconsolable differences or something like that.
Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have anything to do with your infidelity.
That goes back to what Babe was saying about people being lazy. Like, it's only irreconcilable because you don't want to do the work. Right. And then those traumas though, like, okay, I'm not gonna be fighting other people's demons all day. I have my own that I have to put in check. So if it comes to that, then yeah, it is irreconcilable differences because you're not even fighting your own demons. You want me to do it for you and fight mine. Like, that's not fair.
In this day and age, it is not a end all be all if you don't ever get married. But the truth about it is, a lot of women over the age of 40, if you ain't married now, you ain't gonna get married later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a little bit different for men because they have this age range and this like pool that they can pick from due to what some women's expectations are, the reasons why they choose to want to marry. They may want to be kept, you know, they may want some type of stability, you know, in that they may want to be married by a certain time, childbearing age, all of these extra things, right? And I think because of these social norms and social media and the many various temptations, divorce culture is like at an all-time high because you're not sitting on your own foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like on the traditional aspect of what you're expected to do and what marriage is expected to be. And I think like when it comes to your marriage, your institution, your connectivity with each other, because this is your contract. Everybody's contract may look different. Somebody's contract may include 4 other people in it. Somebody's contract may include, you know, like a prenup. Somebody's contract may include, like, you know, what I'm saying is that, like, if you don't have your own foundation to build on, you shouldn't have came into it in the first doggone place. Divorce is inevitable because your foundation's weak. You haven't built one for yourselves. You haven't come together and built that for yourselves. Like for your own individual thing, you can't say, oh, okay, well, with this person in this relationship, you know, this is what it was. So you have that same idea in your mind that that's what marriage would be like in that particular situation. And then you bring it over, say like, for instance, like me, like us, we've been divorced before, right? So going into our next marriage, our next, you know, relationship, our next marriage, we can't bring that idea of what marriage was because that was that marriage.
Right. That was
we can't bring that over here. Right. But I think some people hold on to those types of things because they haven't done the work, again, being lazy. And you find yourself in a space where divorce culture, you over here having a divorce party. And you sad at the end of the day while everybody else is rooting for you, like, oh, congratulations. And you're like, this is not where I want to be. I do want to be married. Maybe I should have done some more work. The time that it took, you know, that you thought about all these things, the divorce papers already written off, and now look at you, looking crazy.
That best friends thing is real. What Lisa said,
it's like all about having the proper foundation, or you can't be best friends.
If you can't be best friends, it will fail. Yeah. So I think with my current relationship, just building that friendship is just, it's so blissful.
Yeah. Like, it's important.
Like, you have like the romantic side and like the intimate side, but you want to actually connect and know this person, like, and know that they're there for you the same way that you're there for them.
Right.
Not just, you know, the superficial. So yeah, it makes a world of a difference.
It does. It really does. Because it is hard. You got to deal with somebody and all of their extras. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Like, goodness gracious. And especially if, like, he hates when I do this. But I'll take, you know, my... Sometimes I'll be in a place and he's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll be in a certain space and I won't be there. And then, so I think what we're learning how to do is meeting in the middle so we don't leave each other behind.
It's that compromise and understanding. Like, we're not always going to be in the same space. And I mean, that's realistic. And that might be what you're talking about, as far as it being challenging, I guess, for some people.
Yeah.
They want to be on the same page at all times, and they feel like if there's a disagreement, that means that we're not meant to be together.
It doesn't have to be. Yo, this ain't supposed to be. You need to catch up. Like, I'm making this amount of money. What is you doing? Like, or I'm over here with my mindset. Where you at? Instead of working together to build each other up together, not leaving the other person behind. I mean, if they a dead weight, you know, they ain't trying to do trying to do nothing.
Right. One thing that I did hear a while ago is that in marriages you can't be judgmental. Like, don't be judgmental. That was really big to me. Like, to hear that, and I'm like, okay. I'm gonna look into that. So if they come to you with like some kind of issue, maybe they didn't come to you with an issue, but you guys just maybe having a off time. But don't be judgmental on it. Like, be understanding and open to learning. Like, how can we resolve whatever this issue is?
Yes.
Like,
okay. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. Do you think that is something that is practiced these days, or if it's understood? Because I think unconditional love is, you know, it can kind of be a gift and a curse, right? If I love you, I love you for real, like on a spiritual level, you know, unconditionally. Whether you're crazy and all that stuff, it's like, oh, I might not be in love with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because you done messed up. But because I still love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were my friend. Like, you know, we spent time together. I've given you my body. Like, you know, or we've spent intimate moments together. You know, we've prayed together. I can't just like.
I think I need to learn more about unconditional love, because I think that it's always conditional. Because if a person isn't doing a certain thing that you need, then you got an issue with that.
Yeah. But does that mean you stop loving them?
You don't have to stop loving them, but you, like we talking about the divorce culture, but you do have the option to not be with them if it's not helping.
Right. I if it's not with that,
pushing you forward. So wouldn't that be conditional? If you let go of a person because they are holding you back, that's conditional.
That's conditional love?
Yes.
I think conditional love would more so be, you're not giving me what I want, so I don't love you no more.
You don't have to just not love them anymore. But if you're upset about it, if the person A has to do B in order for C to happen, it's always conditional.
You think it's always conditional?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I guess, I don't know. I'm a sucker, man. I think it can be conditional, and for a lot of people it is conditional, and I felt that, you know, and it sucks because it's like, I love you for real, yo.
Right.
You know, like unconditionally, but some people, you know, conditional love is very, it does exist. We all should strive towards giving and receiving. Agape love is biblical. I agree. I do agree. Agape love isn't just, you know, not just because it's biblical, because everybody doesn't subscribe to that, but I think because it's harmonious. I think that it's just like one of the fundamental elements of, you know, being in oneness. Like, you can't subscribe to this high vibration and high frequency and, you know, this elevated lifestyle of, you know, being spiritual and connected to source if you can't demonstrate agape love or unconditional love. I think that's a goal to
give a person that space and room to grow, you know, for you guys to be able to communicate. Like, you do want to do that. And it goes back to that friendship and respect. So I mean, if I look at unconditional love on those terms, then yeah. But logically explaining unconditional love does not make sense to me, because you're not going to be with just anybody. So there are certain conditions that they have to meet in order for you to be with them.
Right. There's certain things that, okay, so for me, it's like, I agree with you. There's certain expectations that you may have, certain criteria, requirements for your partner to meet for you to be with them. Mm-hmm. So say I love you, and there's not really anything that you can do to make me not love you, because I love you unconditionally. So even if you don't meet that criteria or those expectations, I still love you.
Right.
I don't want to be with you, but I still love you.
That's conditioned. Why you don't want to be with them? That's being conditioned.
But it doesn't mean that I don't love them.
You can, like, yeah. So I love everybody.
What I mean,
I love everybody. Like, I don't want to see anybody get hurt or, you know, fail or any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I draw the line when it comes to them being in, like, you know, personal space or certain areas of my life, and that's the condition. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I do understand agape love and all of that. Like, I'm one of the most loving people ever. So don't get me wrong.
Y'all don't be looking at Shawty like
like, what? You don't love people unconditionally? I do. I love and respect everybody, but hey, whatever.
There are conditions to love. I understand. I mean, and love is, I guess that's why it's love and marriage, because it has to be more than love. It's got to be. You know, goodness gracious. Love ain't gonna.
What are people's definitions of love too? Like,
all that.
It differs very. But when it comes to marriage, I do see it as a ministry. On just setting that example for other couples who are either striving toward that or are in themselves. Like, it's a ministry because people are watching regardless of if you want them to or not.
Yeah.
Like, we're not on the Jada Pinkett and Will Smith thing, because that's a ministry. Like, what they're going through, it's a ministry. Like, it may be speaking to somebody.
Somebody's testimony, child.
It's not speaking to me, but it's that's not the story that I want to put out, though. That's not the narrative that I want on marriage. So
I do that, babe. I do. Yeah. So sticking it out, because like this is the really good topic, y'all. The time done flew.
It is. We might have to do a part 2 on it.
I would love it, and especially to get more insight from our viewers for sure. Yeah. So make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. We definitely want to know what you think about this said topic. So in saying all of that, sticking it out and working together in a partnership or marriage can be incredibly powerful for several reasons. So these are just a few. Resilience. We spoke about resilience in our last episode. A deeper connection, shared growth, commitment, financial and practical benefits, emotional well-being, and setting an example.
Yeah.
Those are just a few ways that there's power in
So much
your
power.
marriage. Yeah, it really truly is. And it's a beautiful thing. I hate that there is this divorce culture. There are some things going on a little on a astronomical aspect, you know, to where there's been like a cutting of ties, a severance of, you know, relationships, and just removing things that no longer serve you, but on a grander scale. You know, divorce culture is not really beneficial for as a whole, because we do want to build wealth. This is my opinion. Okay, I think everybody's entitled to do what they want to do with this life that they have, and you know, in this cycle that you're in. But as far as building wealth and being examples for our children, and bringing our households together, and having that village that we used to have, man.
I love a good village.
Yeah, we gotta keep it together. This divorce culture, we gotta put a pin in it and try a little bit harder. Have a little bit more patience. Sprinkle a little bit more unconditional love. You know.
I do think that it takes a village to raise a child. Hence the way that I raise my kids, or choose to. Like, I want people involved. I want everybody involved, like, to give the different perspectives.
So that was.
I think we should do a part 2 on this.
You think we should do a part 2?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
And then we had a studio episode
next week, actually.
So let's do it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to sit down and talk about
You want to sit down and talk a little bit more about a little love, marriage, and this divorce culture that we find ourselves in. Let's dive a little bit deeper, get a little bit more personal with y'all, okay?
Yeah, because I got more to say about it.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it for sure, and I could talk about this all day using my experiences as well. So y'all be free to ask us questions and all of that. We invite all of those things. I have affirmations.
You do. How many you got tonight?
I just got 3. Okay. I got 3. And they short. So don't y'all get all extra out. Get out your notebooks. Just get out your notebooks. Okay. So 3 affirmations. The first one is I nurture a healthy, loving marriage. If you're not married, you can put relationship. I nurture a healthy, loving marriage through patience and understanding. The second one is I communicate openly for a strong bond in my marriage. Again, you can replace marriage with relationship. That is, I communicate openly for a strong bond in my marriage. And the third one is I balance personal growth with our relationships growth. Ooh, that's kind of simple.
That's good.
Again, I balance personal growth with our relationships growth. Here at Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free, we advocate for love. We advocate for marriage if that suits you. But if it doesn't, and you too may be a divorcee, that's all right too. Just live in your truth and make sure that you're doing the work within yourself so that you can be the best version and or partner for your future hubby or wife.
That self-awareness, you gotta keep in mind, like when you do run into these altercations with one another, it's not the surface level thing that you're arguing about. It's some past childhood traumas or some past traumas that your traumas are arguing with each other. So if you can,
we gotta talk more about this. We do.
In the bud, then you'd be alright.
Yeah. So like, ooh, goodness.
Yep. So,
it's more.
We'll talk about it on. Is it going to be the next episode? I know we're going to do a continuation.
Our studio episode.
Yeah.
Well, we filming on the 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have more to say. But in a world where gossip rules, we are grateful that you have come back to shine the gems on your crown here on Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is the tree. Have a joyful and prolific rest of your week, and love with light. And good night.
Good night, y'all. Love you. Make sure you send in those questions, comment, like, subscribe, because we're going to dive in a little bit deeper next week. I can't wait. And thanks for showing up. Peace.